In English Conversation 1 class, I will mainly deal with effective thinking and problem-solving skills. You may wonder, what are they? In our life, we always have some problem to solve. So, if we do not have any skills to solve the problem effectively, our life will be very miserable. Also, if you can have good effective thinking and problem solving skills, you can be a good learner. Because studying is also a matter of effective thinking and problem solving. Did you read the first chapter of critical thinking? What is about chapter 1, your first day? Yes, it is all about conflict, dilemma, and challenges in a new place such as school and work. When you start new uni life, there are lots of conflict, dilemma, and challenges. For example, when you live in a dorm, you may have some conflict with your roommate. Your lifestyle, your roommate lifestyles are very different. You're early bird person, but your roommate is night owl. So it's very hard, and there is some conflict between you and your roommate. Also, you can have some conflict with your boyfriend and girlfriend and with other friends. There are conflict, dilemma, and challenges in everywhere, especially when you start your new life in some place. Another question is that if you want to be a good teacher or leader, what can you do with such conflict, dilemma, and challenges? Have you thought about this question? You must learn how to adjust to all of these changes. You will need to develop strategies for dealing with the parents, customers, bosses, co-workers, and students. This will not be easy, but if you succeed, the rewards are incredible. For me, I'm also teaching same subjects every year, but I don't like everything is same because even though I teach the same subjects, every student in each year, they are very different. Because we are human being has got different personality, different character. We are all different. No one is same in the world. Because of this reason, when I teach students in each year, I have new conflict, new dilemma, new challenges. In some sense, it's difficult to teach somebody else, but this is also one of the attractive things to teach somebody else. Yeah, if everyone same like the robot, teaching cannot be very interesting. So as a teacher, you have to learn how to deal with the conflict, dilemma, and challenges effectively. And I'm pretty sure all of you plan to become an English teacher in your future. So this can be the very important things for you. Then, how can you survive in this complicated and imperfect environment? What would be a great strategy? If there are a lot of conflict and problem in the world, what is the key solution to solve all this matter? It is critical thinking. The definition of critical thinking means the intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and/or evaluating information gathered from or generated by observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication as guide to belief and action. Critical thinking simply say students who are able to think critically are able to solve problems effectively. So if we have critical thinking skills, you can solve some kind of the conflict and any problem very effectively. If you have a critical thinking skills, you can develop and you can predict what will happen in your future. So, critical thinking skills cause the development and use of the foresight. If we have a critical thinking skills, you can not only solve the problems in your daily life, but also you can solve the many kind of the tasks in your school life. For example, some kind of the scientific matters and some kind of the social issues. So critical thinking skills are important because they enable students to deal effectively with the social, scientific, and practical problems. Then our question is how to develop critical thinking. Critical thinking process emphasize thinking process and practicing logical construction rather than result itself. And also the active exchange of the idea within small groups can increase the critical thinking. So when you listen to the lecture, just listen to what professors are talking about. Does it really help you to develop your critical thinking skills? But if you have the group discussions, if you solve some kind of the group tasks together, it definitely help you to increase your critical thinking skills. Right and wrong answers do not exist as long as the student's choice is supported by logical reasoning. So to develop the critical thinking skills, as a teacher, you don't have to find the answers for all questions for your students in the class. Do not reveal that which one is right and which one is wrong, because there's no right and wrong answers in terms of the logical reasoning. Here are some techniques how to develop critical thinking skills. That is called the 5 steps to effective thinking and problem solving, which is called the IDLES. First, you have to identify the problem. What is the real question we are facing? For example, when you have the problem, you have to find out what is the real problem. For example, when you have a conflict with your friend or your roommate, what's the real problem? The problem is just different personality. Problem can be also my inferior complexity. Sometimes my self-esteem very low. Or sometimes it's nothing wrong with my friend, but I get too stressed out because of homework and other too much workload in university. And secondly, you have to define the context, situation. In what situation you have such problems? What are the facts that frame this problem? So you can define what is the situation? What kind of context makes me feel hard? What kind of situation caused this kind of problem? This is because of my perfectionism. It's about me, or it's about my atmosphere at university, or it's my parents, things like that. And also you have to enumerate the choices. What are the plausible options? How can you solve your problem? There are many different kind of the options. You have to list from the top priority to the least one. And then you have to analyze the option. So what can be the best option to solve the problem? You have to find it. And also, you can list the reason explicitly. Why is this the best course of the action? You can explain that. Why this can be the best way to solve my problem currently. Now you can watch one of the video, which can be very funny. I upload this video to the cyber classroom. So if you cannot watch this video through this lecture, please, look at the cyber lecture room again. Then there will be the one link to be able to watch this video. This video seems to be very funny, but there is huge and big problem in this video, in this story. What would it be? Can you identify the problem? What is the real question we are facing? Yes, the worker has got problem. She's not an effective worker. She's not serving the customer in this restaurant very well. So that's the big problem. Let's think about that. You are the boss of this restaurant. Do you think this situation is the big problem or not? Yes, it is really big problem because I think this worker will kick away all the customers coming to this restaurant. Then, what are the facts that frame this problem? Define the context. Yeah, we can say that, the situation of this restaurant is very poor in terms of the training the workers, the servers for this restaurant. So definitely, some of the people in this restaurant should train this worker. Let's list the choice. What are possible, plausible options to solve this matter in this story? First, boss or other staff can train these problematic workers. Second, boss or this restaurant send this worker to some kind of the company for training. Third, boss can sack this worker. There are 3 possible options to solve the matter in this story. Then what is the best course of action? What option would you like to choose to solve this matter? For me, I would choose the first one. Because if I as a boss train these workers, I don't need to pay extra money for training these workers. And if I sack this worker, it can be against the law. So I think the first one is the best option to solve this matter. Then let's look at it again. What did we miss? We also think about this matter. The boss, the owner of the restaurant, I think also should be in the restaurant very often to watch, to observe, to understand what's going on in the restaurant. Here is an example of the 5 steps to develop the critical thinking. Actually, this homework has been done by your seniors a couple of years ago, and it was a good example. That's why I put on here. The problem in here is that conflict between the delivery man and the customer. When you order some kind of chicken, or when you order the other some food, if we delay too long, it can be very annoying. And this is, I think, the very common trouble and conflict in our daily life. Yeah, doesn't mean that it happens very often, but it's possible to face such kind of problem in our life. So they solved this matter like that. So please read it carefully. And the reason I'm asking you to read this one carefully because this is your homework. I explain, all the details in relation to the homework in cyber class. So have a look in the 과제물 section. So have a look and then please submit this one 2 weeks later. When you look at this chart, you can see more easily how people solve the problem in a very effective way by using the 5 steps. Here is a real role-play video, which is done by your senior a couple of years ago. So if you cannot watch this video through this lecture, please go and check the cyber lecture room because I upload this video. So it will really help you to understand, how you can do your homework.